Welcome to Cryptowise, a couple of wise guys talking crypto. Hello, Cryptowisers. Welcome back to the channel. My name is Milton. I will be your captain for this episode. Today could not be a more special episode because it is Bitcoin's 12th birthday. That's right, kids. Bitcoin is 12 years old today. You can look it up for yourself on the old Wikipedia. January 3rd, 2009, the Bitcoin network came into existence with Satoshi Nakamoto mining the Genesis block of Bitcoin. Embedded in the Coinbase of this block was the text, "The Times 03 Jan 209, Chancellor on brink of second bailout for banks." And to celebrate Bitcoin's birthday, I'm going to be doing something very special. I'm going to be giving you, for the first time ever, Milty's Bitcoin price projection. I'm not usually a projections guy, but in today's video, I'm going to be telling you what I expect Bitcoin to hit during this bull run. This is my personal Milty price prediction for what the all-time high during this bull run will be for Bitcoin. I'm not going to tell you exactly when I think it's going to hit that mark, but I expect this bull run to last around 18 months. So the price I am going to reveal will be in that time frame. So buckle up, kids. This is going to be another exciting episode of Cryptowise. Not only is today its birthday, but how could I not give some love to Bitcoin in a special video here today, because Bitcoin has been on fire. Look at this, kids. Market cap at $622 billion. As I'm recording this video, we're sitting at $33,483 or so. We are in all-time high territory. I don't know about you, but when I was 12 years old, my market cap was not 622 billion. So come on, give it up for Bitcoin. In 12 short years, it has gone from a value of 0 to 622 billion. This is amazing. Okay, so before I give you my personal price prediction, I wanted to walk through a few things that other people had said, some other price predictions, and people who have been talking about some of the things that I've been thinking about when I have been trying to project where I think Bitcoin could go this bull cycle. The first one is a thread on Twitter by a guy named Dan Held. Now, Dan works for Kraken, the Kraken exchange. He is responsible for the growth at Kraken exchange. So obviously Kraken, one of the most reputable, biggest exchanges out there. And I thought Dan had some great points in this thread. Now, this is something that he published just after Christmas on Boxing Day. Dan says why Bitcoin may be going through a super cycle. This time is different. COVID, Gold 2.0 narrative, institutional herd, and ease of use have set a new stage. Instead of a normal bull-bear cycle, Bitcoin would break convention and enter a super cycle. And this is something I've been thinking a lot about, because when we talk about the price of Bitcoin, a lot of what we're doing is comparing it to past cycles. But this one does seem very different. It has some very unique fundamentals that we've never seen before. So how is that going to affect this cycle? Dan goes on to say, you probably first heard of Bitcoin in 2013 or 2017 when friends and family were talking about the wild swings in price. Bitcoin's market cycle is typically around 4 years, and some hypothesize the cycle is induced by halvings, or reductions in new supply. So as we all know, Bitcoin has a halving. Every 4 years, the supply cuts in half, and that obviously does have a direct impact on these kind of bull cycles that we see. The idea being a reduction in supply plus increase in demand equal number go up. We can call this Bitcoin's viral marketing loop. Satoshi describes it succinctly. As the number of users grows, the value per coin increases. It has the potential for a positive feedback loop. As users increase, the value goes up, which could attract more users to take advantage of the increasing value. Satoshi wrote this before Bitcoin was even worth 1 penny. In the chart below, we have Bitcoin's price and halvings, which are the dotted lines. As we can see, a bull run has occurred after each halving. Here we go. First halving, bull run, second halving, bull run, third halving, the beginning of what looks like another bull run. However, Dan says, this cycle is different. Never before has Bitcoin had such strong fundamentals against a macro backdrop that highlights exactly why Bitcoin is needed. The narrative is singular, and the ability for global value to flow into Bitcoin has never been easier. Macro backdrop. During the 2008 financial crisis, it has blossomed largely during a macro bull run. From 2008 to 2020, the traditional financial markets had a few minor corrections, but no recession. Until COVID came. When COVID came, the markets plunged. This was Bitcoin's first real test with, will hodlers be the buyer of last resort? Will Bitcoin go to zero when the world is on fire? Well, Bitcoin suffered a nail-biting plunge during the March 12th liquidity crisis. I remember that viscerally. Ouch, that was a rough day. Bitcoin survived and surged out of the gates in late 2020 to reach all-time highs of 24K. And remember, he is writing this just over a week ago, and today we went over 34K, which is incredible. Well, Bitcoin recovered. Governments across the world engaged in unprecedented money printing, and when I say unprecedented, I mean never before in all recorded financial history. 10 trillion. This meant that governments were actively devaluing their currency, which is exactly what Bitcoin was built to protect against. Okay, this is one of the huge Bitcoin narratives, one of the big fundamental reasons why Bitcoin is going up right now. So let's move on to the second one here. Dan says, the institutional herd is here. In late 2017, the meme, the institutional herd is coming, wasn't wrong. It was just early. And Milty remembers this huge. All in 2017, 2018, all we talked about was, when are the institutions going to come in? The institutions are coming in any second. Now the institutions are coming in. I believed it at the time. I did not think it would take 3 years, but it has. But it is starting. And now that it's starting, I think it's inevitable that the dam is going to break. Bitcoin offers a unique store of value that is objectively better than gold with higher upside potential. Yes. Here are the financial institutions and trading legends that have recognized Bitcoin is Gold 2.0 over the last 4 months. Fidelity, JP Morgan, Bloomberg, Deutsche Bank, Citibank, Jefferies, BlackRock, Guggenheim, Alliance Bernstein, Bill Miller, MassMutual, plus more. In 2017 bull run, there were many competing narratives to Bitcoin's Gold 2.0 narrative. Many of you probably remember ICOs and the relationships with Ethereum being a DApp platform. Also, Bitcoin was fighting against another narrative, which was the Confederate fork Bitcoin Cash, which felt that Bitcoin's purpose was to be a cheap PayPal. Right now, Bitcoin's Gold 2.0 narrative is the only narrative that is driving the crypto space forward. It is the singular focal point that will continue to accrue attention and purchasing demand. Now, obviously, myself, all you Cryptowisers out there, we are in the altcoin forest. Okay, we have thousands of different narratives in terms of crypto that we are paying attention to. But in terms of Bitcoin and institutions, they now have a clear narrative. Bitcoin is Gold 2.0. It has a higher upside for them. It's easier, it's faster, it's cheaper. Okay, this is huge, and this is why institutions will not stop coming into the space anytime soon. And Dan's third main point is availability, ease of use. So in 2013, 2017 Bitcoin bull runs, it was relatively hard to buy Bitcoin. I can attest to that. Okay, often you had to send a wire and understand how an order book worked. Now you can buy Bitcoin with PayPal or a traditional brokerage like Robinhood. Okay, and that's just going to be the beginning. There's just going to be more and more of these selling Bitcoin. So Bitcoin was made for this moment. Okay, what happens when ownership of Bitcoin moves from 0.01% of the world to 1%? Okay, this is crazy stuff to think about. We've been waiting years for this, but guys, the moment is here. We are getting to where we always imagined we could. So that was a long thread by Dan Held, but those are 3 amazing main points to think about when we're thinking about the fundamentals and what makes them different this cycle versus last cycles. Okay, and if you're not familiar with all the past cycles, here's a great quick image of what these look like. I found this on someone named Josh Rager's Twitter feed. And again, these bull cycles, they match up with the halvings, okay, of Bitcoin. So as we can see, the first bull run was very short, very steep. Then it got longer and less steep, and then longer and less steep. So there is kind of a wisdom in the space that says this bull run will be even longer than the last one and won't go quite as high from the start of it to the peak of it. So the last one was 840 days. And right now in this current bull run, we're already at 168 days. But it still means that we have over 650 days to match the last one, which means we probably need another 800 days at least. And a lot of people who look at the last 3 cycles and they're trying to figure out what this bull cycle is going to look like, think that this one might be longer. So maybe we're looking at 2022, okay, before it's over, but that it's not going to reach that high a peak. And for some of those people, I've heard mostly people use around 100,000 for this bull run peak in and around that area, if they're looking at past bull runs. And now we're trying to predict this one on those past ones. But I keep coming back to these points that Dan Held is making, that this one might be so different that we can't compare it to the past ones. So is this one going to be a super cycle because of these fundamentals? Well, someone else was talking about this on Twitter, this time Raoul Pal. Okay, if you don't know Raoul Pal, you should. Okay, Raoul is a big-time macro investor who recently came out and said that he has put the bulk of his liquid assets into Bitcoin. This guy is not some Bitcoin maniac. This guy knows what he's talking about. He launched a company called Real Vision. You guys should all check it out. It's an amazing resource for anyone who is into finance. And they've recently started covering the crypto market. They have really amazing interviews, especially any of the ones with Raoul in them. The guy knows what he's talking about. They are well worth your time. So just today, Raoul was on Twitter saying, "Well, everyone seems to celebrate every single new BTC high. Let me remind you of where we are going. Nothing is a law of nature, but the long regression trend since inception makes sense to me contextually." So again, he's talking about these past cycles. I think the risk is people undershoot in their price targets. The halving runs tend to get between 1 and 2 standard deviations overbought versus trend, and it occurs usually around 18 months. This would give a rough price target between 400K and 1.2 million by the end of 2021. Not an exact science, but context. It also always climbs a wall of fear. In 2017, it was forks, which Dan Held also talked about. This time it feels like regulation and Tether stablecoins will create the wall of fear. Totally agree with Raoul on that. At every point, people will tell you it's insanity. It's due for a correction. It's overbought. Bad news is about to come out. And they are right. I love that because they are. Okay, there are going to be corrections without a doubt. Nothing just goes up forever. But he says the Bitcoin supermassive black hole don't care. It is going from here to somewhere up there, and how it gets there is irrelevant. But we can guess how long it takes to get there, and that makes it hugely attractive as we have a decent probabilistic outcome from both price and time. It's just a path we don't know. So Raoul has thrown out the numbers, 400K to 1.2 million in the time frame of 18 months. Now, this is someone you can't ignore. And of course, he's not the only one out there. All right, Bitcoin.com put out an article on December 26. It does a good job of outlining what some of the other predictions are. They talk about a poll that Finder.com did, which said that 58% of the panelists thought that the bull run will last at least until the second half of 2021, and that BTC will more than double by the end of 2021. Average forecast was just over 50 grand. Now, remember, this forecast or this poll came out when Bitcoin was still in the 20,000 range. So Galaxy Digital founder Mike Novogratz, if you don't know him, he's another must follow on Twitter. Okay, another big time investor who has been a big crypto advocate for some time. He threw out 65K. honestly, I think he's being conservative because he doesn't want to freak people out. But anyway, that's the number he threw out, 65K by the end of 2021. Mike McClone said that by 2022, BTC could tap 170K. And the prediction from Citibank analyst Tom Fitzpatrick was 318,000 per BTC by the end of 2021. Okay, so these are some of the other predictions out there. And honestly, guys, I gotta say that Milty tends to be fairly conservative with his predictions. Okay, you guys know me. I am a hodler. I'm going to be owning Bitcoin for the rest of my life. So on some level, I don't even really follow price day to day. I don't. But obviously with these big swings, I got to pay attention. And with a chart like this, okay, Bitcoin has my attention. I did not expect it to go this high this quickly. So my original thinking was with the rest of the guys who were around the 100,000 mark. And that kind of went along with what is known as the price to flow model that a lot of Bitcoiners look at because it's been very accurate up until now. And that model had the 100,000 mark as well for the end of 2021. So honestly, going into this next bull run, that was what I was expecting. 100,000 was going to be what I thought. But I have changed my mind for all the reasons that we've been talking about. And I am going to tell you what Milty's price prediction is in just one moment. But before I do, I got to ask all you new Cryptowisers out there, please consider subscribing to the channel. We are so close to 1,000 subscribers. And it would be very, very cool if we hit 1,000 on or around Bitcoin's 12th birthday. Why not, folks? So if you're new to the channel, I recommend checking out some of our older videos on particular altcoin projects. That's where we spend most of our time on the channel, like the one I just published a couple of days ago, which was on Flashstake and XIO. And if you're interested in watching that, you can do so by clicking this link at the top of your screen. But definitely consider subscribing if you haven't. Become a Cryptowiser because this bull run is going to be insane and you're not going to want to miss out on anything. Okay, guys, this is the moment of truth. Milty's Bitcoin prediction for the next bull run. Drum roll, please. Oh, yeah, we don't have sound effects yet on the channel, but hopefully sometime in the future. All right, guys, my prediction, 280K. This is Milty's prediction. You can remind me, laugh at me if I'm way off. I'm trying to stay somewhat conservative. I am getting really excited about the 400K or over prices, but considering we're already over 30K, I can no longer keep 100K as my target. I also got to stay true to my roots, my Milty roots. I got to stay somewhat conservative. I think 280K is not only doable, it's where I think we're going to go this next bull run. Okay, guys. Now it's your turn. Let me know in the comments, where do you expect Bitcoin to go? What are your price predictions? I want to know. I want to hear from my Cryptowisers. Let me know. What do you think? Is Milty too conservative or is he getting too pie in the sky? Has this latest Bitcoin pump made Milty go crazy? Am I being too optimistic? I want to hear from you guys. What do you think Bitcoin's price peak is going to be this next bull run? All right, guys. These are crazy days in a very good way. I hope you all had a slice of cake to celebrate Bitcoin today. Thanks, as always, for watching this video. Until next time, my name is Milton, saying over and out.